Uh, Hello, everybody. My name is Eric. I've been studying Japanese for about a year, and I wanted to make another Anki process update video. I've already done like two of these, and my process has really changed since then. So I figured, hey, it's been about half a year. I went from learning like 10 cards a day to like 30 or 50 a day, and of course, I'm creating every single one of these flashcards. So figured I'd share how I'm using AI to help me gather the information, not necessarily study for me, of course. But yeah, and then since it's been about a year, I figured, you know what, let me make like a Japanese like scale level update as well. Speak a little Japanese in these videos, you know. I think we're getting there. Currently about like N3, hoping to achieve like N2 N1 like mid next year. I think it's very doable at the current rate we're going. About 1,000 flashcards a month. And total currently look around 7,000 flashcards. Personally. Yeah. So then, yeah, I figured I can answer all these questions, but hey, why don't we do it in Japanese? So yeah. はい、日本語の部分始めましょう。まあ改めてエリックと申します。よろしくお願いします。最初は自己紹介しましょうか。僕は25歳です。アメリカで生まれ育ちと国籍です。趣味は歌うこと、絵を描くことと武術を参加することです。最近ハマったバンドは、アセドブラックチェリー、ABC というバンドで、前はジャンヌ・デ・アークというバンドで、結構古いバンドと思いますけど、今もライブをする活動とか続けますから、興味があればぜひ聞いてください。それとも最近、ジュースというアイドルグループも結構ハマったから、いい曲とか、みんな頑張った。で、実は今日、日本武道館に演奏があるんで、今年は、できなかったけど、行きたかったけど、時間が合わせなかった。今はアメリカにビザの手代とか、いろんな用事があるから、武道館のパフォーマンスを行けなかった。残念ですよね。で、次は、日本語と、勉強のために、なんで日本語を勉強し始めたとか、だいぶ1年前、日本語を勉強を始めました。で、あの頃は日本語を全然話せなかった。ということはゼロから、漢字も読めなかった。中国語を話せる、ペラペラ話せるけど、漢字が読めない。中国の漢字ということかな。全然読めないから僕もアメリカ人と同じようにゼロから漢字を勉強します。本当に大変です。で、今日も日本語能力のレベルチェックとか最新のフラッシュカードの作り方法を紹介したいです。で、何か言うとかいいか。例えばなんで日本語を勉強するとか、1年前日本語の旅行、あの頃は全然日本語を話せないように旅行しましたで、多分あれと、日本人の友達は多分日本語を勉強したい気持ちのきっかけかな。で、多分半年前、日本に結構進学したい考え方もどんどん浮かんだから、今はもう決めた日本語に進学したいことです。多分 いろいろ、まあ、いろいろな理由があるんで、日本語を勉強が続けた。もちろん楽しいし。で、なんと言いますか。今の日本語レベルは多分 N3 と思います。でも、例えば模擬テストにするとなれば、多分 N3 以上 N3 のテストはだいたい9割以上の点が取れたから、今は多分 N3 より N2 に近いかなと思います。1年間の間。でもまあ、12月の日本語能力試験は N3 です。あの頃は全然 N2 の自信がないから、まあいいか。N3 に取れても、まあ価値はないと言わないけど、N2 の価値じゃない。まあいいか。来年は1年間の日本に日本語学校を入学するから、時間がたっぷりあります。で、なんで日本になんか日本語学校を決めたとか、絶対アメリカに自分で独学に続ければ、同じように絶対 N1 ができる来年。だから、なんで日本に、1年ぐらい日本語を勉強したいとか、主な理由は、もちろん話す能力ですよね。今は聞く能力と読む能力は話す能力何倍より上手から、それちょっと問題と思います。で、僕の目的は JLPT じゃない。ただ、聞く能力と、読む能力より、話す能力は目的と思います。JLPT はただの目標、進学にもただの目標、ペラペラ日本語を話したいから、日本語を勉強し始めた。そうかな。例えば、日本の旅行にも、あの頃は日本語全然話せなかったけど、一番楽しい部分は、日本人と話すこと。例えば、ファンの同様、一生推し活動するとか、結構楽しいし、同じ年齢の同じ音楽や同じ趣味の友達と一緒に話すにも楽しいし、多分あれは一番主な理由なんで日本語を勉強し始めたとか。で、だから僕の、後にフラッシュカードに紹介するときにも、いろんな意見や考え方は、話す能力に向け、JLPT に向けじゃない、話す能力に向け、勉強します。そうですよね。多分、今はこのぐらいかな。来年 N2、N1 が絶対取れたいということとか、未来は、進学1年間の語学、あとは4年の進学したいことです。で、多分専門学校や大阪大学かもしれない。でも IT 業とか、コンピュータプログラミングが、勉強したかな。そういうことです。話題はあんまり考えられなかったから、今日はここまでしましょう。で、コメント欄では、次回何の話、聞きたい話題とか質問があれば、コメント欄に載ってください。多分未来にも YouTube 動画を続けたいかな。まあ、今日もありがとうございます。フラッシュカードの部分に進めましょうか。フラッシュカードの部分は英語でするから全然心配しないでください。ありがとうございます。よろしくお願いします。Okay, let's move on to the flashcard section. So usually what I like to do is I like to kind of just make a giant list of like words that I come across in daily life that I want to learn. And of course, I check everything to make sure the kanji is like around N3 level. I don't want to, learn all the N1 words kanji before I learn the N2 and N3. But anyways, but if it's like a word that I like to use personally and I think that it will come across in my daily life, then yeah, I'll learn N1 kanji, like no problem. So what I usually do is I have different groups of this is more important than this, or like this is more important than something like this. And then I also do things like I group certain words that have the same kanji that kind of like mean the same thing but like are slightly different forms, like intransitive, transitive pairs, or like zen to aku, like complete まあ反対の言葉反対の意味ということ。Yeah, and I take those and I put them on the same flashcard. Yeah, so the first step is, I would just take this entire paragraph, but for the sake of the demo, I'm just gonna take this part and run it through ChatGPT to get something like this, right? Ask for like a clean list. Then after that, let me introduce you guys to this guy. So one way you guys could make the flashcards, and I'm just gonna do it and show you the not pay to win, the free method. Basically, yeah, I'll put the mic down. Take the word, you put it in here, and then and what this chat does is basically I've told it to take the word that I input and give me all of the following information, right? So immediately it will kind of break up the two kanji, and it will give me like a breakdown of kunyomi, onyomi, 5 example words that contain this kanji, and I'll do it for both kanjis. And then it'll give me a little blurb about like what the word means, the tango, so like both kanjis combined, or for this example it'd be like what this word means. And then it give me 5 example sentences in English and in Japanese. I feel like I don't really need the English nowadays, but for example, for more N4 and 5 levels where like you can't really read a lot of the kanji that comes up in the example sentences, is best to have like just an English portion at the bottom as well. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, I basically just trained my AI, give it the format, and I'll collect all the information and give it back to me. And it's super easy to use. So for example, we do something like this. And of course, like it's not meant to learn for you. What it's meant to do is just help you collect all the information that you need for when you review flashcards, right? When if you look at my other videos, I used to just collect all this information by hand. I would like look it up in the dictionary, and I would personally like copy down, kunyomi, onyomi, and then look for like example sentences in I would use this to look for example sentences, which I don't even think there is any of this. Oh, there is. And then like kind of make my flashcards myself. But honestly, it takes too much time if you're going through like 30 to 50 flashcards a day, and you'll never be able to just get through all of them. It takes too long. But yeah. So this is like, for example, N5 word that I completely missed, but all good. I'll study it now. Okay, and then word meeting. So yeah, this would be a fuku. So type that down. Below, breathe out, play one instrument, blow something away. Sure, whatever. I will just go like that, and this would be like a flashcard. I think it's in this one, yeah. So yeah, so this is what I usually work with. Just meaning, and then you have all the information in the notes. So when I review it, I know what to look for. Like, hey, I don't know the kanji. Well, I can just look up kunyomi oni means, see like what other words use the same kanji, what the kanji means in general. But to do it manually, it does take too long. So I will introduce you guys to Migaku, which I paid for. And honestly, I wish there was a better way to do this. And low-key there was. I think Migaku Legacy was like free at some point. I don't know if it still is. You guys can look that up yourself. But Migaku Legacy is way better than the current version of Migaku, which is just hilarious because I actually have to pay for this. But anyways, I think Legacy, the code doesn't work anymore. So like it's outdated, so Google Chrome won't run it. So I think this is like one of the few options. There is Yomitan, but I don't like the definitions of Yomitan that much. I think you can select a different dictionary, which I didn't know how to do a year ago. But anyways, I paid for this, so I will be using it, and this is what I use anyways. It does, I think, speed up the process, which for me, since I'm manually gonna create 20,000 flashcards, it is worth it to me. And the YouTube function of Migaku, where you can get the subtitles and make flashcards from there directly, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's passable. But like for example, it's not great. I don't know. It's not great. You can bulk, create flashcards and stuff. So just do a quick check with all the settings. Make sure you're going to Anki, and then in Anki you would have to download the Migaku plugin, which will show up here. Map fields, right? Have the card type that I custom made, and then make sure it's going to the right deck. Cool. Reload the page. And the reason why I made it into a list earlier is if you have a bunch of like these bullet points, then Migaku will have a hard time recognizing like the word. So make everything into a list. It's so bad. It's such a bad program. I can't believe it. Anyways, so yeah, and then from here I'll do one manually just to check to see if all the settings are correct before I blitz through the rest. So yeah, yoso, and then yeah. So the word audio also is really good. I'm not sure if Yomitan has word audio. The word audio from Migaku is really helpful. That is a plus too. Cool, and then we'll do create card. Go into the Anki, check the deck, make sure it's there. Migaku also, it comes with syntax, and like it's so annoying because you can't disable syntax. So Migaku cards will always generate with syntax if it goes to Anki basically. The Migaku browser has its own card reader flashcard review thingy, and that will get rid of the syntax for you and replace and basically give the card like a color that represents like one of like the intonations, one of the four intonations. But I like to use Anki because of how customizable it is, and I'll show you a few other things that I do with Anki as well. Yeah, so for example, cool. I will mark this in. Sorry, I'll mark this in. I'll mark it turquoise. Cool. So that's our first card. We'll close this out, and we'll do the rest. And press Q to just like create cards automatically. And as you can see, I like to study like similar cards in batches. Like all of these have like the same kanji. I feel like that will speed up the process of learning a specific kanji. Where were I? Okay, where here? Okay, sometimes Migaku doesn't. They're really bad with phrases, which is something I also don't like because I think phrases are really good. Soke might not be used that much, but like sokenai, is used a lot more. So I like to like learn the phrase that is used more, the form of the word that is used more. Anyways, we move. I think it's this one next. These are a little weird. I have to make these manually, which is not a problem. Let me just get the base form, and then we'll do send to card reader, and then we'll just copy this and paste it. They all mean a similar thing, so the definition will stay the same. And I have like a special thing I do with GPT to handle these types of edge cases that come up. So yeah, as you can see, like Mikaku would just like automatically do these, create the card, send them to the Anki, and then cool. Do that manually, create that one. So also with these, usually, so these are one of those like you will usually see them in hiragana form, in which case I do like to memorize them in hiragana form, and then have the kanji in definition, but not as my target word. Cool. And then that's fine. Yeah, we'll just create a card like that. Cool. And that's basically what I'll sit here for hours and just do like hundreds of words at once. And once I'm done, here, let me just get rid of this, and then we'll put it in the pile. And this pile here is all the words I've created this month. So not like the entirety of my language learning journey, just this month. I think we're about like around 1,000 words or so. 30 a day, about 1,000. Trying to keep up that number. And then now we can just close out Mikaku, because it is really annoying because it affects like every site and is high-key kind of buggy. I wish there was an alternative. But anyways. Yep, card browser. So one thing you can do if you use Mikaku is like to kind of handle all these syntaxes, you can just go to your notes, go to remove language syntax. The language syntax is in the word. So boom, there you go. And that is that. There seems to be a duplicate, so I will delete the other one. We'll go back to here. Cool. So yeah, so this is like the second part where I use the earlier GPT thing, and it's super consistent. Gives me everything I'm looking for, and I've done this for like thousands and thousands of words. So yeah, super reliable. And if the chat gets like slow every once in a while, which it'll slow down, and I have to like create a brand new chat. What you do is basically you just have like something that you're able to copy and paste a lot, like something that ChatGPT already recognizes. So for example, I'll do this, I'll press enter, right? I'm just copying the first message I sent for each one of these chats to train the AI. Hey, and let's see if it works. So next word. And I'm on the free version of ChatGPT. I'm not paying for any of this, so this is very accessible to everybody. And as you can see, it took a while to get this prompt, to be honest. But once I have it, it's super consistent, right? From the previous chat to this chat, even though it's like a brand new chat, the formatting is like super consistent. It is exactly what I had previously, as you can see. And it's a lot faster too, so there's that. Yeah, and I'll just go in, I'll do this, and do a little bit of this to kind of pre-fire it. This is done, copy, send the next one in there, and then just gotta make sure you don't paste into the wrong location. Okay, for the sake of the demo, I'll skip a few others and we'll just head this straight to some of these edge cases. So for example, something like this, I have a separate chat for it, but in this case, I'll just pick a new one, and I'll do, depending on your language level, you could ask the question in Japanese or English, depending on what type of answer you wanna get. So for example, I'll do it in English and just ask, what is the difference in nuance. Bro, I cannot spell English. These 3 words. Boom. And this is one thing that I think GPT is actually really good at doing. Because if you think about what an AI LLM is basically something that scrapes the internet and gathers information. It actually, contrary to popular belief, it cannot think for itself. It is a pretty dumb system. If you look at the code and know a little bit about how AI works, it literally cannot do much. All it could do is just gather information. And good thing about this is there's a lot of documentation when it comes to like learning Japanese of like common words that get confused, common words that have like similar meanings but slightly different use cases, depending on the context and the situation. Some are more formal, some are less formal, some are like they have a certain negative nuance, negative connotation. Some of them have a more positive connotation. So, for example, in this case, right, they both mean to scatter, scattering leaves, a messy room, leaves scattered on its own. So it seems like chirasu and chirabaru is like a transitive and intransitive type of pair, transitive, intransitive. And this is transitive, but it means to make a mess. So this probably has something to do with this, which is also making a mess. Okay. So in which case, let me just make an edit to these, because I want to make sure I'm getting the right pairs when it comes to like transitive and not transitive and intransitive. So we can remove that from here. Make a quick note of like transitive, intransitive, copy, paste, and then just copy that. Boom. So for example, something like this, there's a few words before it, a few cards before it that have the kanji. So I'll learn the kanji from one of the previous cards. And then for these specific flashcards, I'm not trying to learn kanji. I'm trying to learn how to use them specifically. Because like there's no point in learning the word and learning the kanji if you don't know how to use it. So that is what a lot of these cards that some people may deem unnecessary. Like I have cards where it's just like hiragana or katakana phrases, but the phrases that come up, and I mean I can understand it, but I find that when it comes to using the words, it doesn't come. I don't come across it enough for it to just be at the tip of the tongue. So see if I can find like an example. But yeah, that's pretty much it of how I make flashcards and how I handle edge cases. And let's say like, because we're using AI, we're kind of like blitzing through all these definitions. I'm not really checking everything to make sure if it makes sense to me or not. So if I ever come across something that like it doesn't make sense, that I look at it and I'm like, hey, okay, this kanji breakdown, it doesn't really help me, because like maybe like this kanji is like pretty much only used for like a few words. There's like some kanji that are pretty much only used for one word. They have one onyomi and they only use for one word, and you just have to like kind of memorize that. In which case I'll mark it red and give it like, it just means it needs special treatment. It needs another look to actually learn the word. Maybe some of the sentences don't make any sense. Maybe I need to learn a little bit more about like context. But yeah. Oh, there's one more thing. So some of you guys might have noticed that I have a word reading, and that's blank. And one of the reason why I haven't switched to Migaku and I still use Anki is there's another tool that I have. It's called a pitch accent, and you can bulk add pitch accents, which is like huge. It's so cool. So we'll do 2K, 6K, and then we'll do the expression is in word, the reading is in meaning, the pitch action should be shown in reading. Okay, cool. So then when we go back into these, let's say like the turquoise ones that we made today, they have the word reading, they have the like intonation and pitch in the word reading, and then the word meaning has the reading and meaning, definition notes. So yeah, like this is pretty much all you need to learn a new word and to learn a new kanji, in my opinion. It's worked really well for me. We're around like 7,000 plus words or something, but like yeah, cool. And then yeah, earlier I mentioned that there's like certain, for example, like onomatopoeias, for example, there's so many onomatopoeias, right? And you're like, how do you, because there's something that you hear and you're like, oh, I get it, but like when you're speaking it, you just getting it, just understanding it when you listen to it is not enough. You need to like internalize it. It needs to be like not an option of like, oh hey, when it's raining, you could make this onomatopoeia. It needs to be at the point where like when it's raining, you better say this because it's the only like reasonable, logical thing to say. I don't even know what the onomatopoeia for raining is, but like yeah. What does it say here? しとしと雨が静かに降る. Okay, yeah, so for example, stuff like this is like, yeah, make that flashcard for it. Because when you read it, you'll have no idea what it means. When you hear it, you might, depending on the context, but you definitely won't be able to bring it out and speak fluently. So depending on what your goals are, if your goals are just to pass the JLPT, to be honest, that shit is easy as fuck. You need like a 50% to pass. I passed that shit with my eyes closed. The real challenge is being able to speak Japanese, in my opinion. And making flashcards to speak Japanese means making a ton of flashcards on words and phrases that are like simple, that you just don't come across enough, or like you want to learn as fast as possible, in which case you make a flashcard, you see it every day, and then it'll be like on the tip of your tongue when you use it in daily life, when you're in that situation. Cool. That is pretty much it. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. Hope this helped, and good luck in your language learning journey. Thank you very much.